Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered what stories it could tell about the time it was made? Today, we're diving into one such piece of American history, the 1980p Washington quarter. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but behind its design, its history, and its collector value lies a fascinating story you'll want to hear. Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the hidden history and value of coins that many of us overlook in our everyday change. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more coin adventures. Now, let's get into the 1980p quarter dollar. The Washington quarter was originally introduced in 1932, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. To honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, by 1980, the design was nearly 50 years old and still going strong. On the obverse, or front of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, and just to the left, the national motto, In God We Trust. Beneath Washington's neck is the year of issue-1980. Now, here's where this coin gets its specific identity. If you look closely just to the right of Washington's ponytail, you'll see the small letter P. This is the mint mark of the Philadelphia Mint. 1980 was actually the very first year that Philadelphia began adding its P mint mark to quarters. Prior to this year, Philadelphia minted quarters carried no mint mark at all. That detail makes the 1980p quarter especially important to collectors because it marks the beginning of a new era in U.S. coinage history. Turning the coin over to the reverse, you'll find Flanagan's classic eagle design. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing America's readiness to defend itself, while olive branches below represent the desire for peace. At the top of the coin are the words United States of America, with the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, just below it, and at the bottom, the denomination quarter dollar. It's a simple, powerful design that lasted until 1998, when the state quarters program replaced it. From a technical standpoint, the 1980p quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition. Its outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This composition was introduced in 1965, after the United States stopped using 90% silver in its dimes and quarters. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and features a reeded edge dot. So, what was happening in America in 1980, when this coin was struck? The country was experiencing major political and cultural changes. It was the year Ronald Reagan was elected president, marking the beginning of a new conservative era in U.S. politics. Inflation and economic challenges were in the headlines, while popular culture was booming with music, movies, and the early rise of technology. Coins like the 1980p quarter were a part of everyday life, jingling in the pockets of Americans during this transformative time. Now let's talk about Mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced a massive 635 million quarters in 1980. With such a high number, the 1980p quarter is not considered rare in general circulation. You can still find them in your pocket change today. But as with all coins, condition and errors can make a huge difference in value. In circulated condition, a 1980p quarter is worth its face value of 25 cents. However, if you find one in uncirculated condition, it can be worth more. Mint state. Examples: graded MS65 or higher, typically sell for between $5 and $25. At the very top end, coins graded MS67 or better are much scarcer and can sell for hundreds of dollars. For example, some MS67 1980p quarters have sold at auction for over $1,000. Because of their rarity in such pristine condition, era coins are also something to keep an eye out for. Collectors love coins that show mistakes from the minting process, and the 1980p quarter has its share of interesting varieties. Some quarters have been found with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. Depending on the severity and visibility of the error, these coins can bring in anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s. So if you happen to find a strange-looking 1980 quarter, don't spend it right away. It might be something special. Another interesting thing about the 1980p quarter is its place in coin collecting history. As I mentioned earlier, this was the first year that the Philadelphia Mint used the P mint mark on quarters. Before 1980, Philadelphia struck coins without a mint mark, except for a few special issues like the wartime nickels from 1942 to 1945. Because of this, the 1980p quarter is often considered a milestone coin, and many collectors seek it out as part of their Washington quarter sets. So, how can you tell if your 1980p quarter is valuable? The first step is to examine its condition. If it's heavily circulated, scratched, or worn, it will likely only be worth 25 cents. But if it has sharp details, full luster, and little to no wear, it may be worth grading. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can give your coin an official grade. which makes it easier to sell to collectors. Selling your 1980p quarter depends on what you have. If it's just an average circulated coin, you can spend it or keep it as part of your collection. But if you have a high-grade example or an era coin, you have a few options. You can take it to a local coin dealer, list it on auction sites like eBay, or even consign it to a larger auction house if you believe it's worth a significant amount. Dealers will usually pay a bit less since they need to resell the coin, but auctions and online sales can sometimes bring in strong prices if the right buyers are interested. Collectors appreciate the 1980p quarter for its historical significance and its place in the Washington Quarter series, even though it's not a silver coin and it's not rare in most conditions. Its role as the first Philadelphia minted quarter with a P mint mark gives it a special place in U.S. numismatic history. To sum it up, the 1980p Washington Quarter may not make you rich overnight, but it's a coin with history, significance, and collectible potential. Whether you find one in pocket change, purchase one for your collection, or discover a rare high-grade example, it's a coin worth knowing about. So next time you're going through your change, keep an eye out for that little P mint mark on your quarters. It might just be a small piece of history that connects you to the beginning of a new chapter in American coinage. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1980p quarter dollar. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with your fellow collectors, and subscribe to our channel for more coin stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.